Movie camera. Before we start this emotional story, make sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment, because what you're about to hear will touch your heart deeply and remind you that true heroes still exist in this world. Rain poured hard that morning, turning the hospital parking lot into a mirror of gray skies. A little girl in a soaked pink jacket stood trembling by the entrance, clutching a teddy bear with one arm and a wrinkled piece of paper in the other. Her name was Lily, only 7 years old, too young to understand rules, but old enough to feel fear. Her mother, Emily, was inside an ambulance just meters away, unconscious after a terrible car accident. But when the paramedics rushed her to the hospital door, security guards blocked their way. "No ID, no insurance number, no treatment," one said coldly. Lily's tiny voice cracked through the storm. "Please. My mommy's bleeding. Please help her." The guards averted their eyes. "I'm sorry, sweetheart. We can't admit her until the paperwork is verified." She didn't understand bureaucracy or hospital protocol. She just saw her mother's pale face behind the ambulance window, and the doors that wouldn't open. Lily ran to the steps, crying out, "Those men won't let my mommy in the hospital." Her voice echoed off the wet pavement, desperate and raw. That's when the roar of engines shattered the sound of rain. From the mist, a line of motorcycles appeared, loud, powerful, unstoppable. Their riders wore black leather jackets with bold red and white patches, Hell's Angels. The leader, a tall man with gray hair and tattoos snaking down his arms, cut the engine and looked around. His name was Bear, a nickname earned from his size and his heart. He saw the little girl crying, alone, holding her teddy bear like a lifeline. "What's wrong, kiddo?" he asked, kneeling beside her. She sniffed, pointing toward the hospital door. "Those men won't let my mommy in. She's hurt. She's dying." Bear turned slowly toward the guards. The storm seemed to pause. "Not letting her in, huh?" His voice was low, dangerous calm. One of the guards stepped back. "Sir, we're just following." Before he could finish, Bear motioned to his crew. In seconds, 20 bikers dismounted, their boots splashing through puddles as they surrounded the entrance. "Following rules is one thing," Bear said, stepping closer, "but letting a mother die in front of her child? That's something else." The guards froze as Bear's voice thundered, "Open those damn doors. Now." Inside the hospital, nurses peeked from behind the glass, whispering. The bikers stood like a wall, leather, tattoos, and rain. Not one of them moved until a doctor came running. "What's going on?" the doctor asked, out of breath. "This little girl's mother," Bear said, pointing to Lily. "She needs help. You're going to give it to her." The doctor hesitated, then looked at Lily's tear-streaked face, and nodded. "Get a gurney. Now." Moments later, Emily was rushed inside, surrounded by nurses and doctors. Lily clung to Bear's leg, whispering, "Thank you." Bear smiled gently, handing her a dry handkerchief. "Don't thank me yet, kiddo. Thank the people who still care." But this wasn't the end, it was only the beginning. Hours passed. Lily sat in the waiting room with Bear and the other bikers. They bought her hot chocolate and kept her company while doctors worked to save her mother's life. For the first time, she smiled, shyly, as the rough-looking men joked softly to make her laugh. Bear watched her and felt a strange ache in his chest. He remembered a little girl from years ago, his own daughter, who had died after a hospital turned her away because he didn't have insurance. He had never forgiven himself, or the system. That day, he silently vowed he would never let another child feel that pain. When the doctor finally came out, his face was tired but kind. "She's stable," he said. "We stopped the bleeding. She's going to make it." Lily gasped. "Mommy? She's asking for you," the doctor smiled. Bear stood up, putting a massive hand on her shoulder. "Go see her, kiddo. As Lily ran down the hallway, Bear turned to his men. No one should ever be turned away when it's life or death. Not on my watch. 2 weeks later, Emily woke fully for the first time. The first thing she saw was Lily, safe and smiling, and beside her, Bear, holding a bouquet of wildflowers he'd picked on his way there. I don't know how to thank you, Emily whispered, tears welling up. Bear shook his head. Just get better. That's thanks enough. When she asked why he helped, Bear's voice broke for the first time. Because once, nobody helped me. Emily reached for his hand. Then you just saved 2 lives today, mine and my daughter's faith in people. Weeks passed, and the story of the Hells Angels who saved a dying mother spread across the town, then across the country. People who had once feared them began to see them differently, not as outlaws, but as men who refused to stand by when compassion was missing. Lily would often visit their clubhouse with her mom, always welcomed like family. The bikers even painted her teddy bear on the side of one of their bikes, with the words, "For Lily, the bravest little angel." And that's when Bear said something that stayed with her forever. Don't let the world make you cold, kid. Even the toughest hearts can still do good. Years later, when Lily grew up, she became a nurse, in that very same hospital. And every time a frightened child walked through those doors, she would kneel down and say softly, "It's okay. You're safe now." Because she remembered the day the world showed her what kindness really looked like. Broken heart, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Let's keep reminding the world that real strength comes from compassion, and sometimes, angels ride motorcycles. Dove Motorcycle.